How does that shit feel to have such an organic experience to wind up being celebrated by the highest of the courts in music?
Man, every day, man, it's still like a dream world, to be honest, man. Like the physical things I think you get to do in life for other people to help, aunts and uncles out and people in your immediate family, and try to be the person that that my grandfather was to everybody is
Right.
one part. To be held up in the industry as a thing, I don't even like it. I don't even like discussing anything that I feel like I'm not worthy of discussing yet, so and that has something to do with my own plan. Like, of course, it's a blessing to be able to achieve a certain thing and such a thing at such an early age. But somebody will ask me something and I'll tell them, like, Quincy Jones didn't do Thriller till he was like 50. And they're like, okay, so what you saying is like, I'm saying what that says. I haven't even
got
reached.
Great shit to be done. You have to get
Yeah, I ain't even there yet. I'm like, I'm young. Don't call me for no lifetime, nothing. I don't want to hear nothing about nothing. I'm 12. I'm 12. I ain't done shit.
Yeah, shit, man. Like the sound for the dream, like, because you have a distinctive sound, bro. The radio killer sound. Yeah.
Yes.
How did that develop into what it is right now? Because before, man, first, I remember you and R. Kelly were going back and forth over who was, you know what I'm saying, this, that, and the other. I think, he was kind of trying to keep the door closed on you. You know what I mean?
I would never, ever, ever.
You kind of had that, got your boot in there.
Huh?
You had got your boot. You know when niggas trying to close the door and you put your boot in there?
Hey, Kelly was trying to lock everybody out, by the way. It was like, hold up. But yeah, no, I would never challenge anything any of those guys did before then, man. Like any of them. Like, I just appreciate the musical part, of what they did, especially for me in the 90s, man. That was our decade. Like,
those were the greatest years for music to me.
Period.
All around, R&B, hip hop, everything. Those are the greatest years in music.
Period. And so, Jodeci, man, I can pinpoint. Like, it's just a feeling, that I'm overcome with. And so the sound itself, it's like these decades of a thing. Like, it's because I grew up with my grandfather. The 50s and 60s never went away. Like, it was just a conversation in the house. There was still peanuts being put in the stove for the old Masons that was at the house playing pinochle on Friday and Saturday night, like, and the music that they wanted to listen to. And then it was the 70s and 80s, the music my mom wanted to listen to. And then me with the 90s I had 5 decades of a jukebox in here. Like, that's what it is. So it's a historical process that's going on with every song. So depending on what I feel a B would need, or what I feel like a Ree would need for me, I'm just going in, pulling inspiration, from those places of how I felt when that music came. It's like, how do you want to feel? Do you want to feel like Sam Cooke? Is that the mood we going for? Super moody, sad. It's a very oppressed time for Black people. Like, how do you want to feel? And so even though you take a song like Love on Top, right? Even though Love on Top is Love on Top, and it's saying a positive thing, it's a very, the mood it comes from, though, is a very disparaging mood if you really pay attention to it. It's saying all the right things, but out of desperation. And that's what the movement and culture was, especially as Blacks, I feel, in the 60s, in a decade I wasn't even in, to feel disparaged in a way, but to say the most positive things to get to how we're even here right now. Right. So yeah, I have a feel jukebox in my brain and in my soul that I can just beep beep.
And that has evolved into the sound. And I'm talking about you as an artist right now, not necessarily as a writer so much.
And that's what I'm saying, though. But because of that, that's how I write. Like, those humbling moments you was just speaking about, the sound, the every now and then Prince vibe that you get out of those 80s, that like all those things, and then you take the 90s where you got Jodeci, you got Boyz II Men, you have at the end wrapping that up, is even though they don't get their credit, you got Drew Hill wrapping that whole era up there, going into 112, going into Jagged Edge. Like, you got a lot of things that have that were in this bottle that created what the dream thing is. You know, and it's just about, sometimes you can have all the players on the court, and if you're not able to coach it into a good team, there's no wins. So the thing that you get out of it is everything that I believe in my mind are like good players and can play really, really well. But I needed a coach, and that coach was my grandfather with how to get one thing from 1 to 100, regardless of what it is. And so the sound is that. It's just this melanin process of good music that I've inhabited, that is just like, there it is. Let me put this shit together for myself to make it a thing. And so the bedroom shit just come from man, my let's say my upbringing. I don't want to say which parent, whatever, but was just very comfortable with being themselves. So when you say, "Oh man, you good at talking about fucking," it was like it was just that was
a conversation in the house.
It was just freeness, like, hey man, you know what I'm saying? Like, this, like, what going on in there now? Like, go.
My uncle used to pull up on me, man, from the time I was about 10, 11 years old, say shit like, "Hey, what's up, man? You got your pussy yet?"
Exactly.
Hey, what the fuck is that mean?
Hey, don't do that nowhere. Hey, don't do that nowhere but here. Don't go over there doing that. You come over, you bring that over here. And I think now I'm like, oh man, we go straight to jail right now. Like, it's like, oh yeah, let's get it. You know.
That shit is
definitely, man. Wow.